It's over. Elvis has left the building. It's done. Over.
Sarah P, Sarah P, Sarah P, 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 Sarah P, Sarah P, Sarah P is lovely. Josie and Murph's turf, they aren't so lovely. Fuck about and find out. I am joking, they're lovely. Erin Hack on a bus, Erin Hack on a yellow bus. On the way to work, Erin Hack's on a bus. Then we got Hens for Yall is also lovely. She's from home, Kentucky. Then we got Mexi Texi, she's quite spicy. She's from Mexico, but she's not from Mexico. Jonathan, he is a tool, but he's our little tool. I love Jonathan, and his wife says he's got a big tool. Dana's the Speedo man. Dana's a Speedo man. Dana loves Speedo. He loves his Speedo. Dana's a Speedo man. Dana and Dennis walking down the street. Dana and Dennis, the kind I'd like to meet. Dana and Dennis, they used to wear these tight old thongs. They didn't like them, so they're gone. Dana and Dennis walking down the street. Dana and Dennis, the kind you'd like to meet. Dana and Dennis, these two who look at them, they're definitely growers, not showers. Dana and Dennis walking down the street. Dana and Dennis, the kind I'd like to meet, and I can't wait to go to meet these two Speedos pro. See you in Boston, boys.
Is Kimmy? You know something, Kimmy? I think you're right, because Kimmy says I have early onset dementia. I maybe do, because I'm starting to redo my what do you call it? My shows, and I said, I have that diction. I have those words. Why can't I remember these damn words? I probably do. You guys are probably seeing my decline here, my early decline.
No, never.
Hey, Kimmy, go fuck yourself. Here's the rant. There's the rant for the girl. Hey, Kimmy, go fuck yourself. All right? How you like that? How you like that for dementia, you little fuck? Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry, Dylan. I got you struck, but fuck it. How you like that? Where's Alexa? Where's the birthday girl? That's right, Kimmy. Go fuck yourself. Early dementia.
I don't know what's going on, but I'll catch up, I'm sure.
She's in there.
Do you know her?
No.
Oh, she's trolled.
Early onset of dementia. And I don't think she was kidding either.
Oh, if you're not kidding, fuck off, Kimmy. Lou Barber says, baby. Ole, 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 ole. Erin hack, 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 ole. Erin hack, 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 ole. Let's go, Erin hack, 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 ole. Erin hack, 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 ole. Press the like, press the like, press the like, please. Press the like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you liked and subscribe. Like and subscribe, everyone. Let's fucking go. There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. How is everybody? Sorry to hear that, Carol. I hope you get better as the day goes along. I'm sorry to hear that. I know how much that your son means to you. Yeah, that's not good to go through. I understand. You just need some time. As Dumpster Juice says, needs to take some time. As you know, it'll all work out hopefully for you. But you know where we are, Carol. We're here for you, my darling. You know that anyway. So, I hope it's okay. Like Christine, they rested. No worries, my darling. You know we're here for you, my darling. Christine, they state yesterday. I'm not sure how many witnesses there are today. So for the defense, but Lawn Crime said that Robert Tellez is likely to testify, and it's likely to be today. So that's what they say. Hello, Fairy Landacres. Hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Mark, how are you doing, fella? Hope you're well. There you go. Hopefully this starts on time. Then I'm gonna grab some dinner if this starts on time. So we'll see if that is an ability or not. I'm not sure yet. So yeah, those are that. I'm not sure. Just remember, it is. I don't know what I'm saying. That screwed me. For which one? Yeah, I got the same shirt as I did for the first stream. Yes. Daffy Deal is on point. Yeah, there's a lot more people here that are more sensible than me, so I will leave them for you to discuss with Carol. Oh, with Sean. Okay, okay. Where's Sassy Bartender? I miss Sassy Bartender. I've not seen her today. I've been thinking of her. Sarah P, what's up? With the trailer with Sean. I got you. I got you. Right. So as I say, hopefully they start on time because this is now the defense's case. I don't know how long they're gonna be. They said 10 days in total, but you know how lawyers are, they bullshit a little bit. Does that sound tired, Tuz? Yeah, I'm okay. Hello, Nanny who? Hello, Nan. I'm okay, Tizia. Just keep me going, Tizia. The chat needs to keep me going. Oh, Nixie. Is Nixie? Did you come over? Probably didn't. Amy, did you come over? I don't know who's here. There he is, star of the show. Star of the show. Dana Leonard is in the house, people. Here he is. In case you missed it, Dana's a Speedo man. Dana's a Speedo man. Dana loves Speedo. He loves his Speedo. Dana's a Speedo man. Dana's a Speedo man. Love it. Press the like, press the like, press the like, please. Press the like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. If you like to subscribe, like and subscribe, motherfuckers. Jessica, I will say this, right? I did see your comment in the other stream as we left. There you go, girl. I laughed when I saw it. I did laugh when I saw it. I love that dirty sense of humor, Jessica. Love it. So well done, girl. Thank you, Tizia. If you get too tired, no, it's fine. It's fine. We will get through it. Though I got up early this morning. I was in at a circuit session this morning, so I had to get up fairly early. I don't have to get up early tomorrow, so I'll have a lie-in tomorrow if I need to. But it's fine. What keeps me going is a chat. Now tomorrow's going to be difficult because it's going to be difficult tomorrow night because not only do we have Sean El Jefe going live at 6 o'clock Eastern, which everyone will be watching, we've also got Resist the Silence going live at 6:30 Eastern. So I'll still be streaming. So I think we'll have probably an empty chat by then. Because Sean's making his comeback, so I imagine I'll be watching Sean on replay the next morning. I will be, and probably the morning after that. Then, I will be watching Resist the Silence, because they got Mazza on tomorrow night at 6:30. That's the only problem sometimes. You got all these streams going on at the same time. A lot going on tomorrow. There is. So by all means, I will not be offended tomorrow if everyone has left the chat come 6 o'clock. I get it. And if I had the choice, people, I probably would be as well. Do you know what I mean? But I can't because I'm streaming. So yeah, so do not worry about tomorrow night at all. There's a lot on. Calendars here. Hang on. Calendars here. Calendars here. Oh, it's the wrong fucking week. So there you go. We got tomorrow morning. We're just gonna have a core topic tomorrow, I think, in the morning, and then Tellers in the afternoon, and then obviously, as I say, Sean's on and Resist the Silencer on. So I'll say I'll watch both on repeat. But yeah, go and support my buddies, Sean El Jefe and Dean and Tracy. I couldn't wish you to watch anybody better. They're both quality streams, and I think Sean's one is most anticipated. So I look forward to watching that on replay the next day. Sean's definitely on. Sean is definitely on tomorrow night, people. I can tell you now, he is excited. He is excited. And then he will. I won't tell you. I'm still to confirm the actual date he's on here. So we'll see. So there's a lot going on. All right. Also, Don Adelson is on 17th of September, and there's a couple of other streams I think on as well. But we're gonna be doing a Tellers, not Tellers, and Adelson one. So yeah, we got a lot going on, people. We got a lot going on. Ba, 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 ba. Everybody, yeah, Robin says this, right? He realizes he needs his mum. Everybody needs their mother. You might not realize it this second, but trust me, every guy needs. I'm a mummy's boy, and trust me, there might be a few months that goes by, when you're younger, but uh, your mother's your mother. You know, um, that's the way I look at it. My mama, my mama says, jump, and I say how high. I used to whenever I used to live not in South Wales where I am now. I used to phone my mother every day. I have to have a chat with her every day. And then once a week, then I will have a FaceTime with her and my father. Do you know what I mean? On a Sunday. But yeah, my mother, I'd speak to her every single day, every afternoon. Da, 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 da. In his hands, he's got the whole world. In his hands, he's got the whole world. In his hands, he's got the whole wide world. In his hands, I don't know the song. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. Sons are always mummy's boy. Absolutely. That's my experience anyway. Yeah, that's right. Look, the best way is I found with my I used to argue with my parents when, obviously teenagers. It comes a point you just gotta let them make their own mistakes and just be there for him when he comes back. Do you know what I mean? It's his life, he'll come back. Might not be as soon as you want it, but he'll be back. And as long as you're ready with open arms, which I know you will be, he'll be fine. He's gone. Erin hack 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 ole. Ole 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 ole. Ole 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 ole. Erin hack 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 ole. Erin hack 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 ole. After Christine, after the Telus trial, I'm not sure. I'm doing Donna Adelson, and I think I'm going to do 3 days of Corey Richins. Then I'm not sure after that. Then, but I'm doing Donna Adelson, so I don't know what's going on. Here we are for Christmas with you. So yeah, Donna Adelson, and I don't know. I'll squeeze one in. or I'll squeeze one out somewhere. I'll squeeze a trial out somewhere, Christine. Don't you worry about that. Or otherwise, I might just do the Charlie Adelson one because I've not watched it. Might do that as a taster ready for the Donna Adelson one if it fits in. Now Donna's down as a 12th. Oh, sorry, 12th and the 17th. So I'm not sure if the 12th is like pre-trial. I don't know. Also, we need to. There's so many things we need to go watch now. The Bridigan hearings. We need to watch that from Friday. Erin said it was good. We need to watch that. There's a few of those we need to watch. Cora Richards is coming over next week, Monday to Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Here comes the good ba-da-da-da. Here comes the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Why is this call always late? This call is always late. Nevada court is always late. Why are you late? Late Judge. Don't know her name, but here's a mess. Here's a mess, Judge. Clean it out and whoa. Oh, Thursday said, Dylan is feeling like something to go in and out, ladies. There you go, Thursday, huh? Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Why are we waiting? We are suffocated. That's not good after watching Wade saying those kind of words. I just hate courts. They're supposed to start on time, but they never do. It's like, oh, hang on, is it live? Yeah, it is live. Come on, you mofos. I hate waiting. I'm starving, Marvin. I'm cream crackered. Which one? Which one, Daffodil? Who is the trial you're going to cover? Which one? Which trial is that? This, not the other side.
Right.
Derek says, me dog, Scooby, is barking again. Rot.
Right. I like that. That is good.
Oh, good boy, Scoob. Oh, Derek.
Right.
I needed that.
Right.
Thank you, Derek.
Right, Paris? Where are you, Paris?
Oh, fuck. Oh,
Look at the kitty. Look at the kitty. Oh, God.
What the fuck is that?
Look at the kitty. Oh, my God. Forget about the bad guy. I don't care about our grade. Look at the kitties.
Oh.
My partners are saying, oh, my God, this is our future. Oh, God. Oh, well. Anyways.
Right, fuck. Right, stop. I've got to stop it there. Dane and Dennis walking down the street. Dane and Dennis, the kind I'd like to meet. Dane and Dennis, they used to wear these tight old thongs. They didn't like them, so they're gone. Dane and Dennis walking down the street. Dane and Dennis, the kind you'd like to meet. Dane and Dennis. These two who look at them, they're definitely growers, not showers. Dane and Dennis walking down the street. Dane and Dennis, the kind I'd like to meet. And I can't wait to go to meet these two Speedos Pro. Oh, oh. See you in Boston, boys.
Where is he? Where the hell did he go?
How you doing?
There we go.
Yeah, I'm right.
buddy, you're coming in like Darth Vader. I don't know what the hell's happening. Are you in? Must be. Got some technical difficulties here, buddy.
Oh, that's good. You gotta that, Sean.
You're coming in like friggin' echoes everywhere. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Larry, Jesus.
Wait a minute. How was that? Is that better?
Buddy, you sound like Barry White. Hold on. Talk to me, Larry. Larry, where are you? What the hell you doing?
This, Sean.
What?
You gotta fix.
The whole goddamn set is gone. But you sound like that. Give it the little baby. Come on, Larry, give it up.
Baby.
Oh, Larry. What do you got? We'll try to get through this, Larry. What do you got for us, Larry?
No, I can't this way. You fix it.
Okay, listen. Let me try to work this out, my friend. I gotta try it. This foolish thing. I'm about to throw it through the window. All right. Lucky it even works. But Larry, hang in there. What do you got doing today? You got the oxygen tank all set up? I hope.
Listen, I have a new song I'm gonna teach.
Okay, buddy. I gotta fix this.
Listen, I got a message from women. They want me to teach a new song.
They want to do what?
The women want me to teach Dylan a new song to sing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, listen, hold on now. That's going to be a little complicated since I'm only getting every other word. But listen, I'm going to try to fix this, Larry. Buddy, we're getting a little delirious over here. It's too early for this, but I'm going to call you back. All right. I'm going to make 1,000 phone calls. Are you like in a different area in your house? Because I'll tell you, I got to do another test call. Okay. All right.
The same it was the other.
Buddy, okay. If you're in the same spot, then it's on my end. So let me fix this mofo and I will call you back. All right, buddy? I'm sorry, my friend. Hang tight. Hang tight. All right, here we go. What the hell is going on?
I'm done.
Right.
Oh, I couldn't listen to it. Because if I listen to it, I won't stop laughing. So I couldn't listen to it. We love you, Carol. There you go, Crystal. Hold on.
Of the three vehicles
They're there.
being washed, it was just to focus on the one which I know we addressed yesterday in Detective Gaddis's testimony. He was concerned about the anonymous tips, the number of people in reference to the anonymous tips, certain conclusions that Detective Gaddis arrived in establishing her probable cause, and we would anticipate in basically roughly him testifying to the same thing as had been previously addressed before the court in our renewed motion, since my being retained concerning the Franks v. Delaware motion.
Okay, and I do recall reading that report. You're not going to call him first, right?
No.
I mean, so at lunch I can review his report again?
Thank you, yes.
And then make a determination. So I'm assuming the state's making a motion to not allow?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to be able to review that report again.
Understood, and we have noticed him up as an expert witness. We have him available, and obviously we do this prior to the trial starting to see where the evidence is, the state of the evidence that's been presented by the state. He is available to testify. I've explained the concerns that the state has, and perhaps Your Honor would have with his proposed testimony, and we anticipate Your Honor wanting a proffer, but I provided ahead of time his opinion by way of proffer, so the court knows the sum and substance of his testimony.
Okay, and so you won't call him before the lunch hour then?
We will not.
Okay, I mean,
Sure. Okay, Your Honor, so we were yesterday, after court, we were provided with a series of proposed exhibits. The state has some concerns as to the admissibility as to a number of them. So our thought was maybe if we could address maybe some of the issues regarding admissibility now. What I didn't want to do is perpetually interrupt witnesses with objections on this. And certainly if we had had these a little earlier, we could have at least maybe brought these concerns up.
who are you? Who's your first witness?
It would be Dr. Mark Chambers. And what we would propose to the court, because this case has been moving forward so efficiently, a number of people are going to be available at the end of the week. We've been reaching out, trying to get people to move their schedules to be available today. There's been some difficulties in reference to that. What we anticipate doing is calling Dr. Mark Chambers this morning and then having a break so we could address these issues that should be addressed out of the presence of the jury to avoid an interrupted presentation of the defense's case.
Okay, so you only gonna have one witness today?
Correct. As of right now, we're waiting for another witness. She had called Crime Stoppers. She was available tomorrow. We're trying to move her up till this morning. We called the hallway. She is not present yet. Again, everybody was subpoenaed to testify towards the end of the week. So we're trying to accommodate the real-time schedule of this trial.
Okay, so we could let the jury go, but we could deal with some of these exhibits?
Correct, certainly.
All right, but we don't have to do it before Dr. Chambers
No,
comes
we
in.
could put Dr. Chambers on.
Okay,
Judge, can I have the evidence proposed so I can make a record of what was being objected to?
right, we could probably do that,
Yeah,
right?
the other thing is, I believe the defense will stipulate to the admission of 312 and then 316 to 336.
That is correct. And obviously the purpose of stipulations is to make the trial process smoother and a better presentation of evidence to the jury. And obviously we anticipate participation in the same way from the state concerning our exhibits. But yes, we stipulate the admission of those exhibits. I'm going to approach your clerk with our defense exhibits,
Okay,
additional defense exhibits. I believe we're on 2X.
so these are the ones the clerk's gonna want.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
so we can make a record later. We are, yes, we're on X right now.
And the only other thing, Your Honor, is remember how I talked about having a flash drive of the long form of all the video?
Right.
The defense raised a couple concerns. I'm just deleting the images they don't want on there to go back to the jury. I want them to check my work to make sure I remove what they wanted, and then we'll be offering that.
Okay. All right, can we bring the panel in?
Thank you. As far as the state's concerned, yeah.
All right, we can bring the panel in.
Thanks, everyone. Please be seated.
Does the state stipulate to the presence of the panel?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Strauss, would you call your first witness?
Yes, the defense calls Dr. Mark Chambers.
And if you please remain standing, doctor, and raise your right hand, face the clerk.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
Please state and spell your first and last name for the record.
Mark Chambers, MARKCHAMBERS.
Thank you. Dr. Chambers, if you could begin by telling us a little bit about yourself, beginning with your education.
All right. I attended undergraduate studies at Stanford University, where I graduated with a major in psychology and a minor in biology. I graduated with distinction, which meant that I was in the top 10% of my class. I also was admitted to Phi Beta Kappa during that time. I also earned a master's degree at Stanford in education. My doctoral studies were conducted at Northwestern University, where I earned a degree in clinical psychology.
How are you currently employed?
I am self-employed with a practice in clinical and forensic psychology.
If you could please explain to us the difference between clinical psychology versus forensic psychology.
Clinical psychology is probably what most people think about when they think about psychology or psychologists. A clinical psychologist deals with problems in the human condition, mental disorders, or other kinds of personal problems people may have in their lives, like depression or anxiety. They do psychological testing to help better understand a person's issues or problems or situation. And then they provide treatment services, which we usually refer to as psychotherapy or counseling.
If you could explain to us too a little more in detail what is psychology. I think we all have a pretty general idea, but if we could just address that this morning.
Psychology is the science of behavior. And although most people might think of it as relating to thought processes or something that goes on inside the brain, that's not something that we can access directly with any kind of psychological or scientific methods. So we have to look at people's behavior, and then from that, we sometimes infer things about the way that the human brain works or why people behave the way they do. But ultimately, we are looking at behavior and then drawing conclusions from that.
In reference to forensic psychology, which you have been qualified in previous hearings to give expert testimony concerning, is it fair to say that psychology is basically taking well-accepted principles, scientific principles concerning human behavior and applying it to specific circumstances?
Yes, and those specific circumstances are related to some sort of court issue. So a forensic psychologist may do work in family court, conducting evaluations or child custody assessments. They may work in criminal courts like this one here to provide expert testimony that might help the trier of fact, either the judge or the jury, to understand a particular issue that's germane to the case. Sometimes we also work in lawsuits and provide testimony about maybe in a car accident, what kind of psychological trauma an individual has sustained. But ultimately, as you said, forensic psychology is the application of basic psychological principles and research to the issue at hand in the court-related proceeding. And as a result of that, a forensic psychologist sometimes has to be a little bit of a jack of all trades, because there are a lot of different areas of psychology that can apply to a court-related setting. And so we have to know a little bit about a lot of different things.
Okay, would you kind of, I guess, analogize that to that of a coroner? I mean, a coroner is called upon to give an opinion concerning manner of death.
Certainly, yes. A coroner has to know about head injuries and gunshot wounds and blunt force trauma and poisoning and all different ways of death that somebody might experience. So they can't be an expert in any one of those areas. They kind of have to know all of those things so that when they perform an autopsy, they can bring that knowledge to bear to determine the cause of death.
So we have scientific principles applied to specific fact scenarios that help judges, juries make certain determinations concerning issues of fact. Fair to say?
That's fair to say, yes.
You've given and been qualified to give testimony concerning eyewitness identification. If you could, and other matters, if you could please explain to us other areas in which you have been qualified and given expert testimony concerning.
Sure. One of the big things that I often testify about has to do with the reliability of memory, because a lot of court proceedings rely on the testimony of witnesses, and by virtue of that, the reliability of their memory as to what they observed or experienced, or what kind of testimony they're bringing to the court. So there's a lot of research on how memory works, the way in which it can be defective, and that can be helpful to the trier of fact to judge the credibility or reliability of a particular witness's testimony, rather than just assuming that whatever they say is automatically true. I've also testified about the effects of various medications or substances on behavior, including drugs and alcohol, because those things can distort the way people behave, the way that they think, the way that they react to certain situations. And so that can be helpful to know. Stressful situations, trauma can also affect a person's behavior and reactions to certain situations. And so it can be helpful for a trier of fact to know more about that before making a judgment about the case in front of them.
And just so I'm clear then, you've been qualified to give testimony as a forensic psychologist, and as a forensic psychologist, your testimony could address a whole myriad of situations that affect people's behavior and why they do things.
That is correct, yes.
You have been called on in prior cases by defense counsel,
yes,
myself included.
Correct.
Have you been called upon to give testimony as a forensic psychologist in prosecutions?
I certainly have, yes.
Federal cases, state cases, if you could please explain to us just briefly your involvement in prosecutions.
I've testified and consulted all over the world. I think if I had to add them up, the number of prosecution versus defense cases is pretty evenly matched. I've testified in family court, I've testified in civil court, I've testified in military and federal courts, as I said, in many, many jurisdictions.
And when you're called upon, let's say by a defense team or a defense attorney, you are not retained to give a specific opinion, fair to say?
No, I'm here
defense oriented or prosecution oriented, something like that.
Correct. I'm here to elucidate the relevant psychological principles and research and knowledge that will help the trier of fact better understand case. In some cases, it's not favorable to the party that is consulting me. And I have to tell them, I'm sorry, I can't help you because the research says this, and that's probably bad for your case. And that's okay. I mean, sometimes that means a little loss of work, but I've got plenty of work, so that's not really a concern for me.
In reference to these scientific principles upon which you draw opinions or conclusions, you're not a research psychologist.
I am not. I mean, I was trained in research. I have done research, but in my role as a forensic psychologist, my primary skill is understanding research, being able to read research studies that have been published by other researchers, and then gleaning from that the appropriate principles and understanding about human behavior that's relevant to the case.
And these research studies, again, fair to say, cover a wide array of circumstances.
Correct.
Your job is to review the research. And let me ask you this, the research, whether it be concerning false confessions, whether it be concerning memory, it's open to peer review. And if you could explain that to us.
Sure. So the peer review process is a safeguard to make sure that research that is published has done the things that it needs to do to be reliable. So if a research team conducts a study and then they coalesce their findings and then they put together a paper or an article that they'd like to publish, they then submit it to the journal that they would like to publish it. And then that journal sends the draft of the study to a couple of other experts in the field who then look it over, they critique it, they make suggestions of what things could be done better or questions that they feel like they have that the study doesn't answer that need to be answered in the study. And in most cases, then the study, if the editor of the journal feels like it still has merit despite the criticisms, it will send it back to the researchers with the suggestions and say, hey, can you make these changes and we'll take another look at it. Sometimes they'll accept it or reject it immediately, but most of the time it's that middle ground where they try to give some guidance to the researchers on how the paper can be better and more suitable for publication. So by the time a study gets published in a scientific journal, in a peer-reviewed scientific journal, it has been looked over by several sets of eyes, not just the researchers who are submitting the paper.
When you're called upon to give expert testimony concerning issues in the case, sometimes you're called upon to give a wide variety of opinions, and sometimes you're called upon to give a very narrowly tailored opinion as to perhaps a single topic.
Yes,
subject.
I think that's fair to say.
And in this case, you were retained to give testimony in the state of Nevada versus Robert Tellis.
Correct.
Did I reach out to you in reference to this case?
No, I believe that I was originally retained on this case by the defense investigator.
Okay, and that was prior to my involvement, to your knowledge, in this matter.
That's my understanding, yes.
You were called upon to review certain evidence in this case, to give testimony concerning suicide attempts for those that are involving charges or
Yes.
facing charges.
That's correct.
Let's talk about this. Individuals who may be charged with a crime attempting to commit suicide. How common is it?
Well, first of all, it's hard to say because there's a lot of people that go into custody, but it's not very common. I think it's fair to say that it's probably less than 1 in 1,000 suspects or defendants who are involved in the criminal justice system. So it's not particularly common, but it is more common than it is in the general public. So people who are involved in the criminal justice system do commit suicide or attempt suicide at a higher rate than the general public.
Are there risk factors that have been identified by peer-reviewed scientific research on this issue?
Well, yes. One of the risk factors that has been identified is the severity of the crime, the severity of the charge. So if somebody is accused of a particularly severe charge, then the risk for suicide or an attempted suicide is higher.
Fair to say that the severity of a murder charge is about as serious as it can get.
I would think so.
Is an attempted suicide a reliable indicator of a guilty conscience?
Not necessarily, no.
And is that based upon research?
Yes.
And if you could explain this issue.
So in 2011, there was a study published of a very comprehensive research project where they looked at over 27,000 suicides that were committed by individuals who were involved in the criminal justice system. And then they compared those individuals to over 500,000 individuals who were also involved in the criminal justice system but did not commit suicide, so that they could identify, well, what makes these people a little bit different than the people who didn't commit suicide. First of all, I think it probably is obvious that individuals who came in with a mental health problem were already at higher risk because those are the people that typically commit suicide. So it wouldn't necessarily have anything to do with whether they're being charged or not, but it's clear from the research that the stress of being accused of a crime, particularly a severe crime, as I said, can cause people to commit or attempt suicide, whether they're guilty or not. And for the study that I referenced, for instance, found that there were people who had gone through the system, were adjudicated not guilty, and after their case was done, they were still at a higher risk for suicide. Other people who had their cases dropped, but had still been accused of this crime, were at a higher risk for suicide. So it was clear from the study that it's more the process of being involved in the criminal justice system, being accused of a crime, that produces the stress that can result in suicide than guilty conscience itself. And I should add, part of the problem that even addressing that question of guilty conscience is that, remember I said earlier about what psychology is and it isn't. It's about behavior. It's not about mental processes. So to accurately answer that question, we would have to know what's in the brain of the individual. Guilty conscience, by definition, regards what's going on inside, not what the person is doing. And so there are going to be many, many cases where we don't know if the person is guilty or not. So it becomes difficult to answer that question. But we do know that some people, even after they have been found not guilty by the system, just being involved in the system is a suicide risk.
And just so we're clear, you're not called upon to give testimony concerning the guilt or innocence of Mr. Tellis.
No, of course not.
That's obviously within the purview of this jury and not yours.
Absolutely.
So just so I'm clear on your testimony, if a person attempts to commit suicide after being accused of the crime, that doesn't mean that they probably did it.
It's not a reliable indicator, no.
Innocent people or people that have been exonerated of a very serious crime have attempted suicide.
Yes.
You are aware that Mr. Tellis cut his arms pretty severely in this case.
I am.
Did you have an opportunity to discuss this issue with Mr. Tellis?
I did.
Did he express to you concerns that he had at the time that he did this?
Objection, hearsay.
Was his explanation to you consistent with the studies that you have just referred to?
Objection, hearsay.
It's hearsay.
Again, you have given testimony concerning these studies where a person gets accused, and as a result of the accusation and the process, not necessarily guilt, but the accusation and the process, that person attempted suicide.
Yes.
And that attempted suicide does not necessarily mean a guilty conscience.
Correct.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Cross-examination.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can I have some sort of overview of what you reviewed in preparation for your testimony this morning?
Certainly. I was sent the discovery from the case, which I believe included the police report, which essentially documents the investigative process that the police went through when they were assigned to this case. I think that also included some hospital records for the defendant when he was hospitalized immediately after his arrest because of the injuries to his arms. I think I saw some photos that were related to the case, and I was also provided with medical records for the defendant during his time in custody at Clark County Detention Center.
Okay. And in terms of the police reports, you mentioned that you had we call it the OR, the officer's report. Is that what you're referring to?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. How about any witness statements? Have you reviewed any of those?
I believe there were witness statements in there as well, yes.
Okay. And then did you review photographs associated with the case?
As I mentioned earlier, yes.
Video?
Don't recall seeing any video.
DNA reports?
I I think I saw some DNA reports, yes.
Reports from like phone extractions, anything like that?
I think I saw a log of some phone records, so I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to.
I'm talking more like the contents of a phone.
I don't recall seeing that, but that doesn't mean I didn't.
Okay. And when was it that you were provided these materials?
It was some time ago. I was retained on this case, I believe, late last year, but I couldn't tell you the exact date.
Okay. And it sounds like you interviewed Mr. Tellis at some point.
I did.
When was that?
I actually interviewed him twice. I interviewed him earlier this year, I believe, and then I also interviewed him last Saturday.
Okay. And in either interview, did you record your conversation with him?
I did not.
Did you take notes?
I did.
Are your notes available?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, do you still have your notes?
Yes,
Okay, so if the court ordered you to provide them, you could do that?
I could, yes.
Okay. And you understand, of course, we don't have them yet.
I haven't been asked for them, no.
Okay. And so if we made that request and the court agrees with us, you'd be able to provide it?
Certainly.
Okay. Besides Mr. Tellis, did you interview anyone else?
I did not.
How long were the interviews that you conducted with him?
The first interview was about 3 hours, I believe. And then the more recent one was maybe an hour and a half.
Okay. Did you ever administer any tests to him?
I did not.
So it was just interviews, and so you're sort of relying on his description of events.
Well, I mean, I captured his description of events.
Okay. But what he's telling you is his factual version, right?
I would assume so.
Okay. I mean, you don't ever verify that with anybody else. Is that
I did
fair?
have not.
Okay. And so you're kind of getting information from a single source?
Well, I'm getting information from him for the information that he has available to him.
Okay. And like you could apply, I mean, sometimes there are tests administered in order to do psychological assessments of people.
Correct.
And none of those were done?
No.
On either occasion?
No.
Okay. And you're not here to tell us anything about events that occurred on December the 2nd of 2022, correct?
Well, no.
No. I mean,
Not
you
on
haven't,
that date. No.
you haven't been to Bronze Circle?
Council, I believe it's September 2nd. There was a question, December 2nd. think.
Oh, I thought I said
Just in the
September. I
same
apologize.
numbers.
I mean September, if I misspoke.
Yes. No.
I mean, you haven't been to Bronze Circle.
No.
You're not familiar with any of the evidence other than what you read in the officer's report?
Whatever I read in the police report, yes.
Okay. Now you mentioned that, you sometimes testify like about the reliability of memory and that sort of thing. And that is sometimes used in cases where there is eyewitness testimony to be relied upon.
Yes.
And then sometimes I would assume it's to talk about like children who recall instances of sexual abuse that occurred in the past. They're challenging their memories of that.
That's right.
And so you kind of provide, I guess, context to how they might misremember things.
In some cases, yes.
Okay. And I think you said on direct examination that that going through the criminal justice system just in itself is a stressful event.
Yes, certainly.
And that correlates with the severity of the charge.
The risk of suicide correlates with the severity of the charge, yes.
Okay. And what we're saying is, I think you said it doesn't, I think your words were not necessarily when asked if it was like the suicidality was indicative of a guilty conscience, correct?
Yes.
And so not necessarily to me means sometimes it could be.
Sure.
Okay. So there are sometimes people are suicidal because of feeling guilty about the crime they've committed.
I think that's almost certainly true.
Okay. Do you have any kind of information? I don't know if there are studies on that about how often that might be the case.
Well, because as I said earlier, we don't know what's going through a person's mind in most cases unless they tell us.
Right,
People that commit suicide don't usually have much to say.
right. But if
And
you
so-
attempted it, you
Right.
would.
And even when they tell us, we can't always rely on that as being accurate. So it's a very difficult question to address directly through scientific study.
Because people who have attempted suicide may be unreliable narrators about why they did things, right?
Absolutely,
And they may be self-interested when they're relaying events to you.
for sure.
And they may be motivated by sort of wanting to avoid criminal responsibility when they're talking to you.
Yes, definitely.
All those factors are always at play in when you have someone charged with a crime. Would
They
that be
can
fair?
They can be.
Okay. And do you think there's a correlation of suicidality when people like in high positions in society have what's called like a fall from grace? Do you know what I mean? Being publicly embarrassed?
Yes, I think that that's probably a factor because when I talk about the stress of being accused of a crime, whether or not you did it,
Mhm.
there are a lot of factors that play into that. There's family, there's friends, there's finances, there's your employment, but also, as you said, if it's somebody who has a prominent position in society, just the public scrutiny of being accused, whether you're guilty or not, is sometimes inescapable. And we see cases of that all the time where people are accused of a crime, they're tried, they're found not guilty, but that scrutiny, that public scrutiny continues. Not everybody accepts a not guilty verdict, and so it can be very difficult to function in society afterwards.
But that public scrutiny would still exist and the embarrassment would still exist if you were guilty too, right?
Right.
And if, say, you were the subject of really negative articles that were published countywide, that would be a stressor that someone might experience as well, right?
Correct.
Being accused of inappropriate behavior in the workplace would be a stressor for somebody, right?
I would think so.
Being accused of being a bad manager would be stressful for somebody, right?
Almost certainly.
Okay. And sort of being accused of being kind of incompetent at your job would be a stressor if that was something that was like published to, say, the county.
Yes.
Okay. And those types of things cause stress on individuals that may or may not manifest as suicide, but they're troubling to individuals to experience. Is that fair?
Sure. Some more than others. It's all about personality and experience, but yes, I would think generally that's true.
And when you say some more than others, if they're someone who puts a lot of importance on their role in a particular office or status, it would be more upsetting for that type of person to have maybe negative articles written about them.
I would think so, yes.
Okay. Could I have the court's indulgence? Thank you.
Yes, just some follow-up. Based upon your testimony and your opinion, there's not really this correlation concerning more evidence against someone for a serious crime than results in a higher likelihood of suicide.
I'm sorry, could you rephrase that?
Absolutely. So there was questions that you were asked concerning evidence in a particular case.
Mhm.
And are you able to say there's any correlation between, let's say, the more evidence of a person having committed a crime, that being correlated to the higher likelihood of suicide?
I think it's probably more accurate to say that it comes down to the individual's perception of his situation. So, for instance, if someone believes that they're in big trouble, that the cops have them dead to rights, whether or not they're guilty, that probably produces more stress than somebody who thinks, yeah, I can get out of this, or I'm good, or they don't have anything on me. So the objective status of that person's situation is probably less important than the subjective perception of the situation that they're in.
So again, that underscores, obviously you agree that human beings, we can be fairly complex and our behavior can be fairly complex.
That's pretty obvious, yeah.
It is. And oftentimes people think, well, if this person committed suicide, if he committed suicide, he must have committed the crime. You're here to dispel that common view.
Yes,
And there's actually scientific data that does so.
right.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any Klaus?
Nothing else, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Hawks. You can approach. We have a question from a juror. It's been marked as court's exhibit number 15. Has anyone in your experience ever attempted suicide in an attempt to gain sympathy from being accused?
I think that's almost certainly true, yes. Especially when the suicide attempt is not successful. Sometimes people do what we call suicidal gestures, which just refers to the fact that it kind of looks like a suicide attempt, but it wasn't fatal. And in many cases, people do that just to garner sympathy or to deflect attention from some other issue that they're concerned about.
Any follow-up, Mr. Traskowitz?
I do, thank you. And in reference to this, and we're not saying that's necessarily the case in this case, are we?
No, I'm not at all.
And this perhaps deflection, this perhaps attempting to get sympathy doesn't necessarily equate to knowledge of guilt or a guilty.
No, it definitely does not.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Ms. Weber, anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Dr. Chambers, thank you very much for your testimony here today. You can step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You are excused from the subpoena. Thank you very much for being here.
I'll step outside to see if
Okay.
our next witness is available. Our next witness is not here, and as I explained to the court, we had them set for later in the week. We'd anticipate our next witness being available after the lunch break, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, this afternoon?
Correct.
Okay. So at this time, we are going to break for lunch. During this recess, you're much time to discuss or communicate with anyone, including your fellow jurors, in any way regarding the case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, or other means of communication or social media. Read, watch, or listen to any news or media accounts or commentary about the case. Do research, consult dictionaries, internet, or reference materials. Do any investigation, test a theory, recreate any aspect of the case, or in any other way investigate or learn about.
These mofos are literally starting my dinner and they've gone to lunch. It's not the most appetizing tonight, but carrots, some sweet, some cabbage, some potatoes, and some steak with proper gravy. Right, what am I going to stick on for you, ladies? Because I'm going to eat this. I'm not fucking... Entertain me. It is yummy looking. The food is as well. Hey, right. What do you want to watch? What do you want to watch, ladies? What do you want to watch? These are chatty ladies. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. We have got to give. Taking is too easy. That's the what she sees. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. I don't know what you mean. Ah-ha-ha. Nope, no one I like on. So that settles that one. Ba-ra-ra-ra-ra. Ba-ra-ra-ra-ra. Oh yeah, baby. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I don't think I'm just looking now, hang on. I don't think there is, but I'll have a look now. I don't think there is, but in oh, hang on then. Boo boo boo. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba. Sarapi. Sarapi. Dumpster juice. Here you go, girl. Steak. Not raw. Carrots, cabbage, sweet, potatoes with proper brown gravy. Ba-da-ba. Oh, Sarapi. Sarapi. Sara Peach, Sara Peach, Peach, Sara Peach, Sara Pee, Sara Pee, Sara Pee, ba ba ba, da da da, Sara Pee, 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 Sara Pee, a papa Pee. Baby. What's the red stuff? Cranberry sauce. Yes, I cooked the veg. That's where I've been. I'll help though. It's cranberry sauce. And I got some apple sauce on as well. I know, Sarah P's gonna have to pee. Sarah P. Oh, Sarah P. Sarah P. Ba, ba, ba. Cranberry sauce is gorgeous. I love cranberry. Is we put cranberry with like beef. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, it's only to go with the veg. It doesn't go with the meat. It only goes with the veg, applesauce and that. It's gorgeous. I love it, especially homemade. Homemade. My mother makes them, so I love it. I do. I love it. All right, there's no thing here. So what I'll do? No. Frigging food's going cold now. Fuck. Let me find something here quick now. I mean, I don't know what the fuck you guys do like cum gravy. I mean, so what's this about cranberry sauce you don't like? Cranberry sauce is fucking gorgeous, people. Very sweet, very nice. Ba-da. Right, there's something here. I'll just watch. I've never seen it. Cranberry sauce. Yeah, hang on, people. Right, cranberry sauce is solid. This is cranberry sauce. Do you mean it's like just cranberry? Oh shit! Mm. Right, I'll play this. Yeah, that's what it is. It's jelly cranberry sauce. That's what it is. That's what it is. Cranberry sauce, like as in jelly. Robin, you nailed it. That's what it is. Must be UK. It's jelly, Dana. Well, I'm not sure if it's actual berries or not. I don't know. Applesauce is actual apples, yeah. But the berries one, I don't know. Right, I got this. This is from ages ago. Yeah, Stacey gets it. People eat no lamb, no nothing. You people haven't lived, and you all have a go. Yeah, it's jellied. It is jellied. It is jellied. You can't see the cranberry in it. Yeah, it goes with turkey. No, I agree. I just put it in with this. I don't put it with a steak. I just put it with a veg. I just put it with a veg. So no, so you guys do cans and stuff. No, we do proper cranberry sauce. We don't put cans. No, there's no cans of cranberry sauce like you guys. No. No. This is like a small jar. Small, it's literally a tiny jar that you put on. It's nice. Right, let's watch this then. I'm going to eat. My dinner's getting cold, so I'm going to eat.
In custody. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
We have Mr. Hammer here for the state.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
I'm in the habit of saying good morning too. Mr. Tellis, this is off of your motion to disqualify Judge Levitt. I have read your pleadings and Judge Levitt's response, but I'm happy to hear anything else you want to tell me.
Great, Your Honor. Thank you. And so what I'd like to do today is I'd like to go ahead and discuss the truth of what has happened in this case. And I hope that Your Honor allows me to finish everything that I've got to say. Because as Your Honor knows, one of the core principles of our justice system is the pursuit of the truth. Now,
I'm happy to, I want to hear the truth, but I see you have a big stack of papers in your hand. We don't have time for all that today.
Don't worry. I'm only going to speak to things that are absolutely relevant.
Okay, go ahead.
Great, thank you, Your Honor. So first I'll discuss Judge Levitt's deep-seated favoritism, and I'll finish by discussing why she's engaging in this misconduct. Now, I understand that Your Honor might be inclined to grant or, to give her the benefit of the doubt. However, Your Honor, the misconduct that's occurred here is well outside the bounds of any reasonable doubt. Judge Levitt, her favoritism is so deep-seated, she refuses to refrain from violating constitutional rights, and in turn, she's wasting taxpayer funds, and she refuses to acknowledge that as well. When, Judge Levitt engages in intentional misconduct, often the resources of the appellate courts, additional resources of the state, and additional resources of the public defender are wasted. And that's not to mention when often those who are wrongfully convicted have to bring civil suits. Now, all of this comes out of the taxpayers' pockets, and given that Judge Levitt has refused to stop violating constitutional rights, it seems she just doesn't care. And so, I think what is important here is to point out that it's, this has got to stop. But let me continue then. I want to talk about Waller v. Georgia. In Waller v. Georgia, the United States Supreme Court said that evidence suppression hearings are important means of both vindicating constitutional rights and also in fulfilling the public's interest in exposing police misconduct in our community. Now, here, Judge Levitt willfully acted against these important interests by denying me a hearing because she knew that the hearing would expose police misconduct. Now, to show that a hearing is required, the defendant must show that there was a false statement, a misleading statement, or omission of important fact in the affidavit that an officer presented to a judge, and that the judge granted that search warrant based on that information. A good analogy for this is the review of a disputed contract. Now, when a judge has to review a disputed contract, the judge will strike any unconscionable or otherwise illegal terms and then review the document to see if a contract still exists. As in the contract example, here, a reviewing judge strikes all unlawful probable cause statements and then reviews the statements that remain. If there is not substantial probable cause at that point, the search warrant is voided and the fruits of the search are tainted. Here I demonstrated that constitutional precedent required the striking of the majority of the statements in the officer's affidavits. I should have prevailed in obtaining that hearing, and at which I should have ultimately prevailed in demonstrating that the search warrants were void. However, Judge Levitt did not like that outcome, so she willfully defied constitutional precedent that required the striking of those statements. But what Judge Levitt did essentially was she ruled that when you took these illegal statements and you put them all together, that combined, they no longer violated constitutional law. Now, furthermore, Judge Levitt had prior said that she would set that hearing as soon as the motion was filed. On the day that I expected that Judge Levitt would set the hearing as she promised, Ms. Weckerly stopped my advisory counsel in the hallway before the hearing, and she told him that I would not be receiving that hearing. Then, in the hearing, just as Ms. Weckerly had predicted, Judge Levitt decided to refuse me that hearing after all. The only logical explanation is that Judge Levitt denied the hearing because Ms. Weckerly told her that there would be no avoiding the exposure of some, if not all, of the substantial police misconduct. Would an impartial judge defy controlling case law and renege on a promise to set the hearing just to protect police officers from lawful accountability? No, but Judge Levitt did. Early last year, I filed a motion to have Metro produce certain evidence that proves my innocence and also proves police misconduct. Metro filed a response, and they attended the first 2 hearings on my motion. The DA never filed a response, but was allowed to engage in oral argument at every hearing. And in their oral argument, the DA never cited the case law or statute. They only repeatedly made the false claim that Nevada law did not require the production of this evidence, despite the constitutional mandate for it. Now, of course, Judge Levitt agreed with the DA as long as she could. Would an impartial judge allow an attorney who filed no responsive pleading to engage in substantial oral argument? No, but Judge Levitt let the DA do that. Would an impartial judge defy constitutional precedent in favor of the DA's false claim about Nevada law? No, but Judge Levitt did. And it is clear from Judge Levitt's later actions that she knew the claim was false. After Judge Levitt, the DA, and Metro stonewalled me on the evidence for several months, I filed a petition to have the Nevada Supreme Court intervene. The week after Judge Levitt received my petition, she immediately held another hearing on my motion. Now, if Judge Levitt really believed that she was lawfully withholding the evidence from me, why would she rush to hold another hearing on my motion? The answer is she knew it was unlawful. Now, and yet you will see that Judge Levitt continued to collude with the DA and Metro to keep me from receiving evidence critical to proving my innocence and the police misconduct. When I was being taken to court that day, no one could tell me what the hearing was about. I didn't find out that it was about my motion until the hearing had already started. And only the Metro was in, only the DA was in attendance, not Metro. During the hearing, Judge Levitt announced that the DA would be producing the evidence I was seeking and not Metro. And this was despite the fact that I had requested in my motion production by Metro with sworn certificates as to the completeness of the production. Now, when I reminded Judge Levitt of this, Ms. Weckerly jumped in and declared that I had not served Metro, and that's why they were not there. Now, an impartial judge would have recalled that Metro filed a response and attended 2 hearings on my motion, but not Judge Levitt. She immediately agreed that I had not served Metro. It was shocking to hear a judge absolutely disregard easily verifiable facts that are on the record. Now, prior to that hearing, there was no claim that Metro hadn't been served. Again, they had filed a response and they attended 2 hearings. Clearly, Judge Levitt and Ms. Weckerly had an ex-party communication to come up with this ridiculous claim so that Judge Levitt could order that the DA produce the evidence instead of Metro. Now, would an impartial judge do that? No, of course not. What difference does it make how I received the evidence? The difference is that by ordering the DA to produce it without sworn certificates, then the DA can lie about the evidence, and they did. Had Judge Levitt actually granted me the relief I sought in my motion, I would not now, even 9 months after filing my motion, still be fighting for evidence of my innocence. One of my requests was for the surveillance logs and videos of the surveillance that was conducted on me, including surveillance during the bribery investigation. Ms. Weckerly told me that I was only surveilled 3 total times and that there was only 1 video. However, it is clear that Ms. Weckerly lied based on information I found in items that were produced to me. In one of the surveillance logs that was produced to me, I found that the surveillance log referred to videos, plural. And that same surveillance log referred to surveillance that was conducted just the day before Mr. German was murdered, a day for which I had no surveillance log. Now, there's one reason, if not two, that Ms. Weckerly lied. The first is that the videos show that I do not walk like the killer. The second possible reason would be that if Metro was tracking me as long as, for so long, there's a good chance that they know that I did not buy the items that the killer used in that crime. So it is unlawful and immoral for the DA to willfully hide evidence of my innocence, and no impartial judge would willfully assist the DA in its efforts to do so. Sadly, Judge Levitt did, and there's no sign she'll stop. Despite a prior disqualification motion, despite a petition to the Nevada Supreme Court, despite a judicial complaint, Judge Levitt is still now withholding constitutionally mandated evidence from me. Now, from the bench, Judge Levitt outright denied me 2 sets of evidence, claiming that they were irrelevant. There was no logical, good faith reason for doing this because the evidence she denied me was similar in form and function to other evidence she did grant me. In my production motion, I requested emails between Detective Gaddis of the homicide investigation and Detective Jaffe of the bribery investigation. And Judge Levitt granted me those. But I'd also asked for emails that were related to the drafting and the submission of search warrant affidavits. Facially, both of these requests were similar. They were emails. But why would Judge Levitt grant the one but not grant me the emails from the affidavits? The only logical reason is that Judge Levitt was likely informed that the affidavit emails were damaging to Detective Gaddis. And also the same can be said for the search warrants from the bribery investigation. Judge Levitt allowed me only one of these search warrants. It was the one where Metro was given authority to track me by way of my cell phone. Judge Levitt refused me the other 7 search warrants, declaring that they were irrelevant. However, they are relevant. Bribery is a financial crime. And it is very likely that Jaffe's team sought the search warrants to go through my finances with a fine-tooth comb. So again, showing that this occurred would show that I did not buy the items of the killer used in the crime. This is again evidence of my innocence that was denied to me. So would an impartial judge deny a defendant evidence that likely has proof of his innocence while granting him similar evidence that is known to have no such material? No, but Judge Levitt did. Judge Levitt also facilitated the DA's courtroom efforts to harass me and make me appear clueless. In one hearing, Mr. Hamner, attorney for the DA, was allowed to directly ask me the following question. Just to be clear, he has all the videos of the neighborhood cameras picking him up when he killed Mr. German, right? You've got those, right? At that point, an impartial judge would have admonished Mr. Hamner that that kind of conduct was inappropriate. What did Judge Levitt do? She said, well, I'm assuming. And then from there, Mr. Hamner was allowed to continue questioning me and questioning me in a way that made it appear that I didn't understand the difference between evidence that was produced and evidence that was seeking. An impartial judge would not have allowed Mr. Hamner to do that, but Judge Levitt did. In a later hearing, Judge Levitt immediately pounced when I was asking a question that it appeared might be directed to the attorney for Metro. So from that, you can see that she knew it was improper for one party to directly question another, much less for Mr. Hamner's purposes. So Judge Levitt has facilitated the DA's unprofessional, immoral, and unlawful behavior in this case, and the DA has returned the favor by protecting Judge Levitt from exposure of her misconduct. Now, as a citizen, I have a lawful right to request information from our government by way of Freedom of Information Act request, and I did. I requested from Clark County the appeal statistics for Judge Levitt, and also emails between her, the DA, and Metro. Now, if any other citizen had made these Freedom of Information Act requests, then Clark County would have had to comply. However, Assistant District Attorney Christopher Lawley blocked fulfillment of our request, lying about the law and the nature of my request. In a letter blocking my request, Mr. Lawley cited to Tennessee and Ohio State court decisions to claim that items related to criminal discovery could not be requested by way of Freedom of Information Act requests. Never mind that even if the cases were applicable, the cases would not have given Mr. Lawley that authority to block my request. There's also the fact that Tennessee and Ohio State laws do not apply in Nevada. And beyond that, the statistics and emails that I requested had nothing to do with proof of innocence or guilt. They were not related to criminal discovery. They were related to Judge Levitt's misconduct. Mr. Lawley lied and knowingly violated my First Amendment right to the information to protect Judge Levitt from accountability. Now, this is further evidence of the improper relationship between Judge Levitt and the DA. As you can see, there's no doubt that Judge Levitt has it.
Ole. Erin ha, ole. Erin ha, ole. Let's go, Erin ha, ole. 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 There we go. There we go, everyone. Dana's a speedo man. Dana's a speedo man. Dana loves speedo. He loves his speedo. Dana's a speedo man. Dana. Yay! Ole, 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 ole. Ole, 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 ole. Erin ha, ole. Erin ha, ole. Erin ha, ole. Erin ha, ole. Yes! Let's go, everyone! Let's fucking go! What's the complete? Right, hang on. I'll take it off now. Hang on. Erin Hack. Erin Hack. Still the two kittens. There you go. Yes, two more witnesses today. Apparently, two more witnesses. They're not coming back to half one. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 9:30 my time. Fuck. So a lot of time. That means 1, 2, 4 Eastern. Fuck. 3 Central. Fuck. The sugar from the cranberry juice sauce is kicking in. No, it's not. I had to cranberry giddy. I had to change my tops, Erin, because I obviously spilled gravy all down my top. I want to get the El Chatty. We'll see. Oh, I love Dan's positive. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, because Dana's a sailor. Thank you very much, because Dana's a sailor. Thank you very much, Dana's a sailor. I never knew that. Dana, he's a sailor. Dana, he's a sailor. Dana, he's a sailor. Dana, Leonard. If you didn't know, Dana used to be a sailor. Dana's a sailor man. No, it's Sea Dog, isn't it? Dana Leonard. Good evening, Grick, Jem. How we doing? Just gone from an appointment, so I'll have to rewind. Just thought to say hi before I do. What have I walked into? Not much. Not much to catch up on today. Well, they've only got, so basically, the state finished the day early than they expected, so the witnesses aren't there anymore. So it's a pain in the bums, shall we say? Pain in the bumsy wumsy. Ken, did you sing some of the song? Zoom to. Do you know what? I might zoom it tomorrow because I got an hour. We got an hour and 40 minutes to wait. I don't really. Do you know what I mean? For how long? For 2 witnesses, which could be done in like an hour. I don't think it's RP one. New song. Yeah, but well, I might have to think with this song. Might be a few hours, Ken. There you go. Robin G. Ken Gibson sees. Dana got out of the military 31 years ago this month. There you go, Dana. Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for your service. 31 years ago. Cheapers. And you are. Oh, yeah. You. Dana at a guess. Dana's like. 50. I was going to say 52, but I don't think it's 52. I think it'd have to be more than that, wouldn't it? 56. 56, I say Dana is. Dylan Drunk and say that. 52! Oh, I was right! I thought you might be older. You look like 50, but I thought you were 50. Dana must be 96. There you go. I got it right. You look good for 90 in Speedos. Dumpster Juice loves it. I think what we're going to do, people, is zoom it tomorrow. Erin Hack, math doesn't math well. Erin Hack tries to tell people she's 47. I know different. Well, I just thought, yeah, I did insult him. No, but I don't mind insulting him. I don't mind. No, I was like, he looks about 50, but I was like, no, he's got to be about 52. And then I had to add years on because I was like, oh, I'm not sure. Those winks and laughs were for you, Dana. There you go, Shari. Shari, hey, Dana. So Shari's going to take me clam diving. She wants to collect some clams. She's like, all Shari's told me, Dana, is I have to go to Boston and lick some clams. I didn't even know you licked clams. She said you got to lick all the clams you can get. So I was like, okay. So we're into licking some clams with Shari D in Boston. Zoom tomorrow. There you go. We'll do that. Might as well do that. Clam diving, aka being Dylan's wingman. There you go, my darling. Plenty of time before then. Hey, who knows? I might find someone between now and then. You never know. Never know, people. Never know. Clam and tits. Plenty of time. There's about 10 months to go, isn't it? So absolutely. Oh my God, Rebecca, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. I love Rebecca. Ba-da-ba-ba. Don't forget, we're 12 hours away. You know? Oh, hang on. You're in North Carolina, aren't you? You're in North Carolina? From Canton. Oh, but driving. You're not flying. Flying, though, is like, what, an hour? Dylan's got to find a good Boston girl. Hey, she's got to be a good Boston girl. What's a good Boston girl? Wicked pisser. Wicked pisser. Is that something? I love the accent. I got the accent. I'll be like, oi, all right, love. I can go up to a girl and be like, I'm parked the car. I parked the car. I parked the car in Harvard Yard. And she'd probably look at me going, the fuck is wrong with you, you prick? I'll be like, cucumber. Peabody. Go to Worcester. And go to Worcester. Park the car. Wicked smart. Are you wicked smart? Or are you thick or smart? Oh, small bus. What the fuck? Hey, y'all. My name's Sarah P. How y'all? Do you want to see a bit of titties? Hey, Sarah P. That's how she does it. She slits the slot down and she's like, hey, boys. My name's Sarah P. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Erin Hack is, I'm going down the tubes. Anyone coming to the tubes? I'm the Erin Hack. I'm going on the yellow bus to the tubes. Let's go and pee the pool tubes. Tubes. Everyone on the yellow bus. I'm driving. That's not how it's done by me. Oh, Sarah. So I was like, Sarah P. Oh, Sarah P. Sarah P. Sarah P. Y'all. Hey, y'all. Well, here's Sean doing cough and death. That's how Erin speaks. She goes, tubes. I'm from the tubes. I go and pee in the tubes. And remember, Erin's like 4'1", remember? She's 4'1". She, hey, everyone on the bus. I'm driving. And she's driving one. Yellow bus, driving. I'm going to the tubes. Beep, beep. Right, yeah, no, I'll be up for Boston. I would love a Boston girl. I think Boston girls I've met have been quite classy. Classy might be the wrong word. Wicked smart. Wicked smart. I love American girls. I've told you all that. I love American girls. They'd have to do long distance, though. That's the only thing. Have to do long distance. Might be a deal breaker. Do you know what I mean? But you know, it is what it is. And we might get someone for Bill at the same time. So we'll see. Right, shall we call it a night? Shall we call it a night? Me too, dumpster juice. I don't know. I don't know Nurse Kim at all. To be honest, I know of her. I don't know her at all. Never watched the stuff. I know she had Plevin on last night, didn't she? So I don't think people here were very happy about that. So yeah, build up your endurance for one night of clams. Dumpster dive in with the clams. Dana dumpster juice. There you go, Dana. She'll come after you. Don't worry, Stacey. We're going now. So you go and have your nap, my darling. I'm gonna zoom out of here. So tomorrow morning we will be doing zoom day 5. The rest of day 5. There and then take it from there. So yeah, that's I think the plan. I think that's the plan. Sean's well, I hope Sean comes to Boston, but I'm not sure if he will or not. Be class if he did. Can you imagine? Fucking hell. If you can imagine Sean made it to Boston, jeepers, you'd have to lock the roads down, I think. Lock the roads down. Sean El Jefe is on the way. No worries, Stacey. Catch you later, my darling. Kimmy, go fuck it. Bye-bye, Daffodil. Kimmy, go fuck yourself, Kimmy. Yeah, we'll see. No, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If you wish something to happen, it'll never happen. So, look, everyone try to kick me out. We'll see you all of people tomorrow. Thanks, and thank you, Sarah P. And Sarah P. Right, everybody, I'm going to end the stream there. So, thank you for your endurance, your hospitality, hack, and I shall see you tomorrow. We go live. Shall we say 9 o'clock again? We'll catch up on this, and then, do you know what? I might zoom in on Wednesday night as well, because I just remember, people, Wednesday night we got Sean El Jefe making his debut as Sean 2.0 again, and then at 6 o'clock Eastern, and then we've also got Dana and Tracy with Resisted to Silent. They have Mazza on 6:30 Eastern, so you can watch both back to back tomorrow night. I might do that. I might skip tomorrow night then and just do the morning show, catch up this, and then Thursday we'll catch up that way. So everyone can watch El Jefe and Dana and Tracy and Mazza. So we'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. Everyone, leave the chat on. I think the chat leaves on. I think the chat goes off, Shari, just automatically, I think. After a bit of time, I think it just automatically goes off. I think if you refresh it, it goes off. But if you just leave it, I think it's fine. It keeps going. There you go. Yeah, no, I'll be live from 9 o'clock our time, Gem. It's more 2 o'clock our time, and then El Jefe will be on at 11 o'clock our time, and Resistance to Silence will be on at 11:30 Eastern. Bye, Robin. Bye, Ken. Bye, everyone. Take care. Mecky Techie, she's so sexy. Right, take care, everyone. I'm ending the stream now. I press it. Bye bye.